It's time to start our third business challenge event in collaboration with the American Japan Society. So thank you so much for coming here today. It's my pleasure to again host this event here today. So before we get started, I would like to say special thanks. First of all, of course, thank you to the American Japan Society for hosting this event, and special thanks to the president, Mr. Fujisaki, for actually for together starting this event 3 years ago. And again, it's a special opportunity for students to engage in this authentic learning experience. So we say a great thank you on behalf of us all. Thank you so much. And also this year, again, we would like to say thank you to Mitsubishi Heavy Industries to provide our students with the business challenge. Again, for students who are learning in classrooms, special event like this is a really great way to take learning outside of the classroom. So thank you so much for providing us this opportunity. Thank you. And of course, thank you for Mr. Okamoto as well from the American Japan Society to work with our students over a month to make this event happen, and also the college interns from the American Japan Society to be mentors to our students. So thank you so much, and without you, this event wouldn't have happened. So before we introduce the judges, I would like to actually ask Mr. Fujisaki to give us just a few opening remarks.
Thank you, Suzuki-san, for this opportunity. Really, I was looking forward to it. I attended the first and second, and that was really fruitful. I learned a lot as well. So, first, I'd like to thank Mitsubishi Heavy Industry for taking time and making these possible this time. And today, I'm going to talk about 10 minutes on U.S.-Japan relations, current issues, but that's not true. So, we'll see you.
I would appreciate his jokes. And actually, this year, the ASIJ became the corporate member of the American Japan Society, and we are fortunate enough to participate in various events that you host, and it's been remarkable as a school, again, to really strengthen this relationship between, it's not just Japan and America, but also going beyond. So thank you so much. So before we get started with student presentations, I would like to introduce today's judges. So today, that was the judging student pitches. We have 3 judges. So Mr. Okamoto from the American Japan Society. And also, he was the former executive director of Mitsubishi Heavy Industries in Europe, right? Yeah, so he has really a good understanding of course this company and so on. So then for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, we have Ms. Matsunaga. And she heads their sustainability team. So again, I'm sure she has great questions that she would like to ask you. So thank you so much. And also we have Mr. Lee. And his background, of course, is in finance, but also he has worked with so many companies. So I'm looking forward to for your questions, right? To really spark if these business plans are really feasible. So. Anyways, today is really about student presentations, so we'd like to get started with 3 pitches that we have today. So we're going to go in this order today. So each team is going to present about 10 minutes, and after that there will be a Q&A. So then after the third pitch, judges will discuss who has the best business plan, business idea. Right? So once again, we would like to get started. But before we start, we would like to just quickly recap what this year's challenge was. So this year, this is our 3rd year doing this business challenge. And this year, we are working with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. And the challenge they gave us, first of all, the students have to pick one of these material issues that Mitsubishi Heavy Industry is tackling. So as each team picked one of these. Then after that, they had to select SDGs to also tackle. And in order to do so, they were asked to use one of these Mitsubishi Heavy Industries resources. So that's the general the framework that they had. Then after that, it was really up to students and each group, each team to come up with a new business plan. So once again, it was the selecting the issue and SDGs and the resources from Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Then how that would look like as a business plan.
Can you introduce our staff and interns here?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so that was about a month ago. Then again, after that, the American Japan Study interns has been really great at helping our students mentoring as well. So could you please stand up and it's not just these 3 people that are more also the interns who actually helped mentor our students as well. So like this is special thanks to the interns. Could you introduce yourself briefly?
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Yuta Chimura from School of Political Science and Economics at State University. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'm from Tokyo University of Foreign Studies. Thank you. So I'm Hiram from the ASIJ staff members. There are 3 more interns who helped support this project. So we will give a little special thank afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And as I told them, they are more than welcome to come visit our classes after this event as well. And hopefully we can kind of work together on multiple ways. So thank you so much. Right. So before we're going to get started with our first presentation. So you'll be from Aina and Sydney. You guys, you ready? All right.
Hi, this is Aina, and this is Sydney, and we would like to start our pitch. As you probably saw when you entered ASIJ, we have many buses. We have more than 30 buses that take us to and from school, and more than 80% of the student body rides them every day.
Can you speak up a little more?
On average, bus rides are 1 to 1.5 hours, which causes us to leave a large amount of carbon footprints. Based on the data shared by cbo.gov, we calculated that every passenger contributes to 41.2 kilograms of carbon emission in 1 school year, which is 10 months of these bus rides. This is an issue because we add on to the existing carbon footprint, and it directly relates to the issue of global warming and climate change. Japan is the 5th largest producer of carbon dioxide emissions, with 1,577 million metric tons in 2020. And that's why we focused on the issue of the material issue number 1, provide energy solutions to enable a carbon neutral world. And these were the 3 SDGs that we focused on. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production, and number 7, affordable and clean energy. We focused on the infrastructure systems that MHI has, especially the industrial machinery spectrum. Our proposal is for ASIJ to switch to hydrogen fuel cell electric school buses using Mitsubishi's technology skills. First, there will be a few test buses, and eventually all 30 plus buses will become hydrogen fuel cell electric buses. If this becomes successful, then Mitsubishi Heavy Industries can positively consider the production of hydrogen fuel cell converters for vehicles, especially for buses. This is positive for both us as ASIJ, and since we will reduce our carbon footprint and we will be using school buses that are clean energy, and because MHI can potentially use this as a test run to see how efficient and successful the manufacture of hydrogen fuel cell converters will become.
Currently, there are around 85 hydrogen-powered buses in Tokyo. Hydrogen-powered fuel cells work by converting the chemical energy in the stored gas to electrical energy via an electrochemical process. This creates electricity to power the vehicle. This process is extremely efficient. 9 liters of water can produce 1 kilogram of hydrogen. According to Sachi Ikegami, Director of Promotion of Hydrogen at the Office of Climate Change at the Metropolitan Government of Tokyo, this city is also considering equipping the trucks that transport household garbage with hydrogen fuel cells. As you can see, Tokyo is shifting towards having public transportation systems run on renewable energy. With Mitsubishi's resources, we can implement an effective system of transportation even at the scale of school buses. This would create great impact on our school's carbon footprint by eliminating 41.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions on a daily basis. This strategy also has advantages in terms of production costs, and it will remain safe if used correctly. In fact, buses are able to travel long distances, making it convenient for us since the bus rides are longer than 1 hour on average.
In summary, our business pitch is for MHIs to become the manufacturer of the hydrogen fuel cell converters rather than the manufacturer of the buses. This product has high demands as society. As Sydney explained, Tokyo and Japan is trying to shift over to clean energy transportation methods. And ASIJ is a great starting point for MHI since there are over 30 test specimens. This would reduce the financial burden as MHI wouldn't have to consider covering all costs for public buses and for the citizens of Tokyo, Japan, which more people ride compared to the student body of ASIJ. And additionally, MHIs can have more financial benefits if they develop partnerships with car deal companies, because in Japan, cars get checked every 3 years, and there are many individuals who are convinced to either renew their car or buy a whole entire car. However, this is a lot of cost for those individuals since cars are very expensive. In fact, cars that run on gas break easier than cars that run on renewable energy. And if the car dealers sell MHI's new product of this hydrogen fuel cell converter, then MHI can make profit as well as individuals can switch to clean energy that run on renewable energy. This is eco-friendly and cost-efficient in the long run.
Please believe in our pitch.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to open up to questions. Anybody would like to go first? I think you please.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I'm afraid MHI do not manufacture bus itself. But you mentioned that MHI produces facilities to produce hydrogen. So how do you think about the combination of the companies or integration of the system as for this newly developed futures?
So we believe that there are many car companies in Japan, say like Toyota, they are really dominant in the field of creating these vehicles. So we thought MHI can really focus on producing the converters itself rather than a whole bus. And then if they can sell these converters into these buses that maybe Toyota produces, Isuzu produces, then that is more of a win-win relationship of a partnership rather than MHI dominating the production of buses itself.
Do you have any particular bus manufacturer in your mind?
Yeah, we don't think so. Yeah, so we thought that the starting point can be the ASIJ buses, and we thought of this because we ride the bus every day, and we see all of these buses having these leaks of gas in our bus area. So ASIJ buses can be the starting point of these test runs of these conversion of the MHI's products. Did they answer the question?
I see. As far as I see, more than 80% of your ASIJ bus is made by Mitsubishi Fuso. the last 20% seems to be ASIJ. So in order to develop business like this, it's sometimes very important to locate a good partner, such as ASIJ or Mitsubishi. Therefore, if you provide such a concrete name, your research would be more realistic or relevant.
I think, thank you.
I missed here, but please tell me about the fuel cell converter more completely, because how this converter changed, what that I want to know about the fuel cell converter more.
So we did have a small explanation in our presentation, but to be really honest, we're not the experts of the converters. I've done small experiments in my environmental science class. If I can use that as an example, it works by splitting the hydrogen and the oxygens first, and then in my class specifically, we use the sun energy to use the sun energy as the, sorry, what's it called, like the one's fueling, which turns the energy turbines. So it is a very complicated chemical structure, but
It's like, I think it's how like chemical processes are more sustainable than using like fossil fuels like gases or something.
and it's renewable since we can use water instead of oil or gas that is a single use.
And do you suppose some limitation of this project about, for example, there are not so many hydrogen stations in Japan now. So how do you think about this problem?
We think that's definitely a current limitation, but after we test how the buses work with it, and maybe we could implement also like a charging spot at ASIJ for our test run. If that goes well, then we can create partnerships with like gas stations to have like chargers for these hydrogen fuel buses.
Thank you.
So my question is, from your research and the people you talk to, did you hear any reason as to why Tokyo has 85 today, not more? Like, are they planning to do more in the future, or are there things that they actually found out that maybe that's going to be it? Like, have you heard or read anything about it?
We didn't get to the point of a clear limitation, and we believe that 85 is a great starting point since, and I've seen in my real life, I use buses all the time, the local buses, but a lot of these buses that are used is only for the main lines, which takes us to Shibuya or Shinjuku, rather than the local buses we see around school, just because of the lack of people actually using these buses. And I believe that if companies want to implement these complete new idea, complete new renewable energy type of transportation, where this is a city where everyone uses public transportation, I believe they're going safe with these buses, because to turn all of the existing buses into these new is a big financial burden. So we think that 85 is a great starting point, and it's the fact of how many people ride these buses.
And once it gets tested on ASIJ buses and the really solid example, I believe that companies will be less hesitant to convert.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you. So now I'm going to switch to the team 2. We are going to switch computers quickly. So again, we will start in about 2 minutes.
Hello, we are Senna, Nina, and Noah, and we will be pitching Ceramic Cool to you all today.
Okay, we will first explain the current issues with the HVAC systems industry before explaining our product. Then we will go deeper into the functionality and the key functions of our product before ending our presentation with our business model, scalability, and potential limitations of our product. Now, before we get into our product, let me ask everyone in the audience a question. Who here uses an air conditioner at home? Quite a lot of you, yes. According to the UN Environment Program, about 9.5 billion AC units are predicted to exist by 2050, equivalent to the production of 10 air conditioners every second for the next 30 years. Traditional air conditioners, which make up the majority of the air conditioner market, rely on massive amounts of electricity and refrigerant chemicals, which can be up to 10,000 times more potent than carbon dioxide, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. With air conditioning systems alone emitting roughly 117 million tons of carbon dioxide each year, it is no question that current systems pose a threat to the environment. With global temperatures rising and excessive amounts of energy consumption, there is an immense opportunity within the HVAC industry. Our solution, Ceramic Cool, primarily focuses on SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, focusing on MHI's material issue number 1, which is to provide energy solutions to make a carbon-free neutral world, and to approach this solution under the logistics, thermal, and drive system sector under MHI. Our product, Ceramic Cool, was inspired to mimic ceramic terracotta designs such as those shown in the picture. The ceramic board that we designed can be installed in conventional HVAC systems. This cutting-edge ceramic technology increases energy efficiency in heaters and air conditioners by retrofitting a ceramic sheet coated with a nanoscale material. This coating blocks water vapor from entering indoor space, controlling humidity levels, and optimizing cooling and heating, a necessary function for places that already have humid climates. Now, take a look at the screen as we show a simulation of our product. But what is the science behind this product? To put it simply, Ceramic Cool employs a porous ceramic material that maximizes its surface area. Since the material is porous, the ceramic sheet absorbs the water from the surrounding environment, storing it until the HVAC system is ready to be used, hence blocking water from passing accidentally. Once air is passed through the hydrated material, the water evaporates and the surrounding air cools down. Having more surface area on the ceramic allows for quicker evaporation of the water, which is why we also decided to include holes into our design to increase surface area. In 2015, researchers from the MIT Climate Collab and Harvard Graduate School of Design explored deeper into the use of terracotta cooling designs. Their ceramic designs were similar in that they were able to significantly cool down the indoor environment. But in addition to that, they also found that ceramics reduced the urban island heat effects, which is caused by higher average temperatures in urban areas. These benefits also demonstrate the adaptability of ceramics, which is a key functionality that we will explain later. In fact, the research conducted by the University of Alicante in Spain found that using ceramic system coupled with the water distribution system represented a reduction of annual energy consumption by a staggering 22%. Essentially, in large cities such as Tokyo that already have humid climates, the use of our product would be extremely effective, since a lot of water is already in the air. In fact, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, the average humidity in Tokyo reached as high as 83% in August of last year. With the rising temperatures and humidity levels worldwide, our product has the potential to outperform current HVAC systems while helping the environment.
Next, we would like to highlight 3 key features of our product: energy efficiency, durability, and integration with AI. Firstly, as mentioned before, our ceramic sheet is coated with hydrophobic material that cuts energy costs significantly, alleviating the issue of rising energy costs as the climate warms up. Also, since ceramics are known to have a relatively low specific heat capacity compared to other materials, less energy would be required for the ceramics to heat up and cool down, making it a material that is easily adaptable to new temperatures and environments. Alongside efficiency, ceramic wool also boasts great durability, with similar ceramic sheet technology having lifespans of 10 to 13 years, nearly the equivalent of a normal air conditioner. Next, integration with artificial intelligence. As mentioned earlier, our product is an enhancement to existing HVAC systems. This means that our ceramic product can be used in conjunction with the technologies already built into the initial HVAC systems that people have in their houses. For example, our ceramic board can be implemented alongside MHI's 3D IC Smart Sensor. This would allow for an even more energy efficient HVAC system, as it would automatically stop cooling or heating the room if there's nobody inside, and works in conjunction with these technologies. In short, Ceramic Wool proposes a business plan that reforms the temperature regulation industry and makes existing HVAC systems more sustainable.
Moving on to the business model segment of our business project. Our business model encompasses plan for Mitsubishi to both maximize profitability and to make meaningful partnerships. Our business model, like many other startups, have explored utilizing ceramics for heating and cooling functions. In particular, the Japanese startup 3MS has developed a design very similar to that of Ceramic Cools. Ceramic Cool can co-develop a multitude of different designs that will both suit different settings beyond just AC units. This will be achievable through technological help from other smaller businesses. This is our product profitability plan. Our profitability plan will ensure profit for all parties involved in our business. Data collected from 3MS's prototype proved a 13.5 reduction rate in power consumption, electricity bills, and CO2 emissions. Results of a reduction of almost 0.3 tons of CO2 emissions from simply implementing the ceramic technology was found. According to the Japan Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Association, in 2018, Japan reached 0.87 million demands for AC units. The annual electricity usage for AC units in Japan is around 16,000 to 50,000 yen. Here is a simple 7-year time span project plan that we have for our business. We will provide ceramic wool technology to different consumers for no cost. We will expand it to around, let's say, 100,000 AC units. The 13.5% savings that our ceramic wool ceramic technology will provide will result in a revenue of 3.1 billion Japanese yen. The revenue and profit that Mitsubishi will get from this revenue will depend upon the logistics and how the percentage of who and what will receive how much of this revenue.
Next, when it comes to the competitive landscape in the air conditioning industry, several multinational companies have already made significant strides in building more sustainable HVAC systems, but Ceramic Wool triumphs these competitors. Firstly, Ceramic Wool boasts exceptional energy efficiency compared to its competitors, such as Daiki, Hitachi, and Panasonic, resulting in long-term cost savings for customers, as mentioned by Nina. In fact, a test trial using a ceramic sheet conducted by 3DS Inc. Showed that there was a 20% reduction in energy use following the installation of the sheet. Secondly, the ceramic sheet that we are proposing represents a groundbreaking development in the current industry, as it utilizes retrofitting instead of the replacement of the actual air conditioner. setting it apart from products such as Panasonic's sustainable window units or Daikin's iSmile Eco Series, both of which require the user replacing the air conditioner, and it would be cost inefficient to the 90% of Japanese households that already have these heating systems installed and may want to make the shift to a more environmentally friendly product. With its focus on quality, reliability, and sustainability, we believe that Mitsubishi is well positioned to capture a significant portion of the Japanese market. Next, based on the 3 of the 4 business areas that Mitsubishi established in its 2022 integrated report, we hope to scale our idea first to have a personal impact, then a public presence. Our strategy encompasses 3 phases. Firstly, we strive to enhance the quality of personal and private lives in domestic settings by selling ceramic wool to home air conditioners. We will then hope to expand into industry and mobility sectors in collaboration with Mitsubishi Motors, including the integration of temperature regulation systems in cars and factories throughout 2027 and 2028. Finally, we hope to penetrate the infrastructure market, including space station temperature control systems and public transportation systems, such as trains and buses. To ensure the successes of our business plan, we will hope to focus on scaling up our ceramic technology to be present in all parts of the MHI Group value chain, from company office air conditioning to its heating products that it sells. However, there also exist 4 key limitations to the ceramic wool technology that we're proposing today. Firstly, our technology is still in the early stages of development and has primarily been tested through case studies and startups. In other words, it has not been widely adopted and tested on a large scale, which undermines the effectiveness of our technology. Secondly, as a result of limited testing, ceramic wool may not be suitable for higher risk environments such as spacecraft thermal control, which is part of our scalability plan. However, as the technology develops further, we predict that necessary enhancements will follow in suit. Next, as mentioned by Noah, our product relies heavily on the humidity and heat of the environment, as that aids the efficiency of ceramic wool. In the future, we hope to improve upon this technology so that it is adaptable to drier climates as well. And lastly, and most importantly, while ceramic wool can enhance the efficiency of heat exchange and accelerate the cooling process, its cooling capacity is limited. In other words, it cannot fully replace traditional air conditioning systems, which continue to pollute the environment around us. However, we firmly believe that our technology is taking a step in the right direction towards a more sustainable future.
As global temperatures continue to rise, so does the demand for air conditioning, making it imperative for us to adopt more sustainable means of combating this global crisis. Ceramic wool offers a sustainable breakthrough to conventional HVAC systems, promising to propel Mitsubishi towards their goal of a carbon-neutral world and to become a greater provider of affordable energy. Thank you.
Before we go into the Q&A, I'd like to show the demo. So let's switch the screens quickly.
Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. I'm very impressed as you spotted air conditioning system from MHI's versatile products rather than aircraft, power plants, or shipbuilding. And among that, I'm very impressed with your new elements to enhance cooling capability. But through your presentation, I noticed that this ceramic system should be vitally important technology to accomplish this product. Do you have any assurance or guarantee to realize this element in reality?
Throughout, I think we are quite assured that this technology is completely viable, especially from a scientific point of view. Throughout our research, we encountered a lot of startups and a lot of innovations still in the prototype stage that have been incredibly effective in minimizing energy and cutting energy costs. In fact, a startup conducted by Harvard showed that there was a 30% reduction in energy use following the installation of a very similar ceramic sheet. So I would say from a scientific point of view that this product is completely viable and that we would definitely require the help of Mitsubishi in realizing it, but that it's very much plausible and feasible.
How do you think about the hypothetical case that the MHI fails to develop the ceramic system? How do you think?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
Yeah. If MHI fails to develop the ceramic system by themselves, how do you think about the other alternatives?
I think that looking at the current sort of technological market for ceramic-based cooling systems, there are a lot of like startups and potential partners that Mitsubishi could collaborate, especially in the innovation process, and startups that have been especially successful in developing this process. We see a lot of opportunity to collaborate and work in conjunction with smaller companies that require the assistance of MHI to perhaps distribute their products globally. And I think that MHI could definitely have a big stake in the distribution process of it if it comes down to that.
Yeah, and I also want to add on to one thing. Since MHI is such a global company, they're heavily involved in many different types of industries. So adding on to what Sana just said, I think MHI would be able to collaborate with various types of industries and various types of companies to implement similar technologies into different types of industries. So I think other than having it into air conditioning systems, it could also be applied to, let's say, like trains and other types of modes of transportation. And that would require MHI to collaborate with possibly other types of companies that are primarily focusing on those companies. So yeah, I think it does show a good opportunity for partnerships.
Thank you. I'm sure your assumption will make sense. Thank you very much.
The question my question was almost answered in your presentation, but you report 4 limitations at the presentation. Do you have any idea to solve those limitations?
I would say as Mitsubishi sort of develops the product and as it identifies a lot of different flaws, I think in that sort of prototype and in that development process, I think that a lot of the technological and technical issues could be solved through there. And in addition to that, we also mentioned how there's a limited global reach, especially in areas that are really arid and dry. I think as the technology improves and we're able to sort of capitalize on the ceramic wool technology, I think that there's a lot of room for offering different types of ceramic technology to different geographic locations, so that they're most effective in those specific places.
My question is more of a business question. So if I understand correctly, ceramic cool is your technology and you like NHI to work with you by adopting your product, is that correct?
So, as we mentioned in our business model, ceramic wool there are many startups that have very similar technology to ceramic wool, but what we want to change with ceramic wool and what we are trying to propose to MHI's group is by, like we said, collaborating with other startups who do not have the same advantage as MHI with this ability to produce this at a larger scale. We can collaborate with them to develop and use their technological knowledge on the ceramics, as we do not have specific research and knowledge on the technicalities of the technology, but we believe that in terms of business, we're trying to promote ceramic wool as just the solution, not the product, but being able to use this technology at a larger scale, being able to implement it in many different settings.
Because my question was, you said that there are other similar products. So for MHI to work with you, what are you willing to give up? Are you going to become part of the company, sell the technology, or are you willing to give up significant ownership so that they have, significant interest to actually help you? Have you thought about how do you entice other people to work with you instead of the other?
We created the business model of being able to implement it into consumers' households and gaining the revenue, like we mentioned, because ceramic wool reduces the electricity bills by 13.5%. We're going to gain this if we implement it into thousands of households. The revenue we'll be able to get, we can use that to entice other businesses to help us. We can give them a percentage of our revenue.
And also, I think the global recognition of MHI is one of the key, factors to the success of this product. If we're able to expand this product to not only households and other industries, I think that is one of the key aspects that would make this product, successful and profitable.
Thank you.
Once more, could I give you a very naughty question? If you can, you can try. So you mentioned Daikin, Hitachi, and Panasonic as a competitor. We have yet another competitor within Mitsubishi Group. You know what I mean? We have a very strong competition from Mitsubishi Electric. How do you think about any differentiation against this company?
I think one of our selling points is sort of the versatility of our product. We're able, if scaled up and on a very broad scale, we're able to implement it into spacecraft heating systems, into trains, into public transportation. And so I think that the universality of ceramic wool is, I think, one of its key selling points that could help distinguish MHI from its other groups and really penetrate markets that it hasn't already sort of gained a presence in.
It's a very difficult question. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to go into the last group.
Is this connected to the TV or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Wait, we did it.
Oh, because they had their demo, so they used it.
Yep.
Hello, this is Team 4, and we present to you our project, Dove's Aviation. This is our team.
This is our team. I'm Chloe.
That is it.
Elias.
And Sophia.
Our business project is part of the MHI segments 1, energy systems, and number 4, aircraft defense and space.
We plan to tackle issue 1, providing an energy solution to enable a carbon neutral world.
The SDGs we focus on are number 7, affordable and clean energy, and number 11, sustainable cities and communities.
Our ideas consist of 3 parts: gas turbines, HVAC acrylic paint or ultra white paint, and transportation. First, I'll talk about the gas turbines. What type of energy would power the aircraft and why? Gas turbines are commonly chosen by manufacturers to power various vehicles, including aircraft. Usually this is due to their efficiency, sustainability, and affordability. MHI is a leading global power of gas turbine technology, which we have selected for our aircraft project. MHI's J-Series gas turbine boasts an impressive 64% efficiency, making it an industry leader. Additionally, MHI is committed to decarbonization. CO2 emissions per unit of electricity are lower than any combined cycle gas turbine power plant in the world, with the goal of eventually using 100% hydrogen in their gas turbines. Gas turbines are also affordable to operate, as they require less lubricating oil than other engines. And because of their extreme fuel efficiency, the electricity cost is very low. Our team opted for smaller aircraft for this project, which required scaling down of the gas turbine. And however, this presents a challenge in maintaining high pressures and temperatures. Additionally, the fuel consumption of the turbine itself is increasing, which we don't want. To overcome this, we plan to attach a heat exchanger to the gas turbine, which will recover the heat from the exhaust gas and allow us to use smaller aircraft.
As you know, hyper-reflective white paint is another way to make our plane even more climate friendly. Created by Purdue University, this HVAC acrylic paint reflects 97.9% of solar light back into space with a layer of only 150 micrometers. With this paint tackles SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, through how our aircraft can better protect against UV rays and minimize the energy needed to cool the plane in between flights and during. It also significantly reduces an aircraft's weight, drastically decreasing CO2 emissions and fuel consumption. Now, extensive research has been done on this paint. Purdue University created it, and the study was published in So Reports Physical Science Journal. All the research behind how this paint is so reflective and the potential uses and benefits is linked here. As Purdue University created this paint, we propose that MHI creates a joint venture with them. With this strategic alliance, MHI can have a partner as a supplier of the paint, and Purdue gets help commercializing it.
Next, I'll talk about the uses of our product in the transportation industry. Currently, 20% of Japan's 1.1 billion tons of CO2 emissions come from the freight transportation sector. Also, trucks dominate the transportation of goods, accounting to over half of them. Also, the Japanese economy loses 12 trillion yen annually due to traffic congestion, accounting to more than 2% of its GDP. If we can cut down on the amount of trucks on the road carrying goods, it will contribute to decreased carbon emissions and will improve traffic congestion. Our plane can replace cargo trucks and be used as a climate-friendly alternative transportation method of MHI resources. This connects to SDG 11, as by reducing traffic congestion and carbon emissions, it will help make transportation in cities more efficient and improve the air quality.
Next, I will be talking about the political, economical, social, and technological background of our project. Creating a carbon-neutral aircraft involves a lot of political aspects, such as international air regulations and restrictions, as well as governments around the world increasingly prioritizing to reduce carbon emissions to combat climate change. Even Japan as a whole, with demands from former Prime Minister Mr. Suga, with industry, academia, government collaboration, aims to develop technologies for carbon neutrality from a long-term perspective. Thus, aviation will require cooperation and collaboration between governments, airlines, and manufacturers. An economical aspect of this carbon-neutral project are enterprises trying to tackle environmental issues. Companies, particularly in developed nations, are making large-scale investments in technological innovations towards carbon neutrality, attempting to find a way to survive in the markets. As ESG investments increased to about 57% in the last few years, investments in sustainable technologies and resources are crucial, even for big industries such as MHI. Additionally, airlines that operate carbon-neutral aircrafts will benefit from policies and consumer preferences, which could lead to increased profitability and market shares. An important social aspect of this project is the role of awareness and public awareness and opinion. The general public has a significant impact on the success of carbon-neutral aviation initiatives, as they can influence government policies, industry practices, and consumer demands. This in turn encourages industry leaders to invest in development of sustainable technologies such as ours. Additionally, this aircraft also has implications of jobs and employment. Traditional jobs in the aviation industries may be phased out. However, new jobs in areas such as development, manufacturing, and maintenance may emerge. Technology. Mitsubishi Heavy Industry is already advanced and ahead of most of its competitors in terms of technology and its creations. They have several products and resources such as their heat exchanger and the J-series gas turbines that can already be implemented into this aircraft. In addition to this, there are aero engines and aerodynamic designs that they implemented on their other aviation projects, which could make this development easily accessible and a success. Not only can Mitsubishi provide existing resources, but they can also be a system integrator, connecting and networking domestically and internationally to our customers and clients.
Now, who can we market our project to? We see three audiences. The first, you, MHI. We want to interrupt the MHI aircraft production system. MHI RH Aviation Group has the most extensive base for regional aircrafts, with more than 1,300 aircrafts flying. They build and manufacture planes, so by incorporating our gas turbine engine and the HBN acrylic paint onto aircrafts, MHI will be able to produce more environmentally friendly and cost-efficient planes. The MHI RJ Aviation Group also works to sell and deliver reliable and cost-effective aircraft parts worldwide, which transitions us into our second audience, business-to-business sales. Specifically, outside businesses that rely on air exports to transport resources or companies that manufacture airplanes and jets. Some of these companies include Amazon Air, which has 107 planes flying to over 64 destinations. They send an estimated 1.6 million packages daily, so many miles must be covered. There's also FedEx Express, which has a fleet of over 650 airplanes with thousands of pickup stations for customers and a strong value of making personal shipments reliable and accessible. We also have Boeing, which, as we all know, is the largest aircraft manufacturer, and Toyota recently created a prototype for the TAA-1 aircraft, a small, individual, sustainably built airplane. While all these businesses are not only global leaders in their field, they also maintain an excellent focus in looking for ways to reduce their carbon footprint while also maintaining efficiency and reliability. Our project provides a solution to making airplanes more environmentally sustainable and would be much more appealing to these companies. Our third audience is private investors and people buying private planes as a whole or even as parts. Again, the MHI-RJ Aviation Group works to sell and deliver reliable and cost-effective aircraft parts worldwide. Our sustainable gas turbine engine and hyper-reflective white paint would provide a more climate-friendly option for people buying planes. As the private jet market is dominated by small jet planes, our aircraft would be an effective competitor in the market.
Well, what will our business look like in the future? First of all, the global demand for flights isn't on the rise. The aviation industry has already recovered from the COVID pandemic recession, and the demand for flights is expected to double by 2040. Also, the global e-commerce market is expected to double in size by 2030. As much as 95% of all retail sales will be by e-commerce by 2040. So planes like our product will be needed for efficient shipments that can meet the customer's demands. Additionally, there is a global trend to transition to clean, sustainable energy and move away from fossil fuels. For example, it is predicted that 57% of global passenger car sales will be replaced by electric vehicles by 2040. Passengers and shipping companies will look to environmentally friendly planes like ours to serve their commercial purposes so that they can reduce their carbon footprint.
We will also need to consider possible competition. Drones are a major competitor here. The global drone market size is growing, and Grand View Research says that it is anticipated to expand at a compound annual growth rate of 38.6% from 2023 to 2030. They are also compact and cost efficient. According to Joav, the cost of high-end and professional drones are usually about $3,000 and above. Future technology isn't something to underestimate. For example, if flying cars become a reality, it will reduce the traffic on the streets by a massive amount. When these new advanced technologies start to get materialized, our product has to be able to compete. And we see our project competing. We see our project leading the industry. Firstly, our product can handle large amounts of goods when transporting, while drones have very limited space. Secondly, the flying duration of advanced drones is usually about 28 minutes, and our product includes the J-series gas turbine, which is used in large-scale operations. Therefore, our product can run significantly longer than these drones. Finally, as our product is focused on the aspect of sustainability, society will see us as a more green project. Therefore, we believe our product will have no problem with the competition it meets.
Dove's Aviation provides a sustainable advancement towards the future of aviation and the reduction of significant carbon emissions that are being emitted to our atmosphere that is threatening our planet. We hope that you take our proposal into consideration.
Let's
make MHI the department store for sustainable, efficient machinery. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's quite interesting, and I would like to appreciate if you are showing us a dream of the aircraft. But in reality, I have two questions. The first one is that I'm afraid that there are lots of elements on top of the gas turbine engine and the paintings. How do you think about it? Indeed, the engine itself and the painting is important, but it's quite difficult to foresee the reality with the environmental friendly aircraft with only two elements. What else do you think about? This is number one. And the second question is, to what aircraft, to which aircraft do you focus? You described from a large-scale aircraft with 4 engines down to drones. Considering the limited resources in reality, even MHI should focus their resource to some product line. How do you think about it?
Can you repeat the first question?
First one is that do you have any elements in your mind rather than just about engine and paintings which enhance or realize future aircraft?
Well, the basis of our project is mainly done on research about the gas turbine and the white paint. We believe that these two elements have had substantial effects on creating a more environmentally friendly plane. So in the future, these applications can be expanded. For example, the paint can be used on buildings and cars, which we can research in the future. However, these two elements of our project do have a substantial effect on creating a more sustainable.
They understand that the gas turbine with less energy consumption should become a vital should play a vital role in considering the future aircraft. Right?
Yes.
To answer your second question,
Okay, so regarding your second question, our original plan for this aircraft was that this plane was going to be a significant support for disasters. For example, in Japan, there was the Fukushima disaster, and during that time, because of the nuclear reaction and the nuclear disaster that occurred, because of like the earthquake and tsunamis, people weren't able to get the help that they needed, the aid that they needed, and there were a lot of injuries and death because of this. And if we thought that if we created an aircraft that was small, that could provide aid and like necessities needed for injuries and people who were hurt, it could be very helpful for future disasters that could occur in Tokyo or even Japan or even around the world globally. However, because disasters are not very like frequent and common as like commercial planes, like we decided that this could be support for faster deliveries and faster transport for consumer goods.
Thank you very much. That's very good. It should have been mentioned in the presentation. Thank you.
So I have one question. The branding is important in the market. So why this is Dove's Aviation you named?
So basically, we wanted to come up with a name for this project, right? So you can tell that doves are white, and we're using white paint in our project. So we also wanted to, we didn't want to pick I don't know, a white, something like onigiri or like, I don't know, like seagulls, but like we wanted to make it something very symbolic for our team. So we chose dove. Aviation, as you can tell, is our project is related on flight and the air, so that's why we chose the name.
Okay, I know, very well.
Right. Well, first because, like as I mentioned earlier, this was going to be a disaster relief aircraft, and because when you think of disasters, you want to think of hope and peace. So we thought something that symbolized that is doves, and coincidentally, they're also white, and the paint that we chose are also white. And not only for disaster as well, but being covering the aircrafts that we created with white paint, it shows that the hope that we have for the future in our planet and the environment, and being able to like help change help to like reduce the carbon emissions because of the hope that we had as youth. Yeah.
I think it's a very good name.
Yeah, thank you.
If you remember my questions to the other groups, it usually centers around the fact that if this is such a great idea, why hasn't it been done before? And I guess my question would be, it seems like the paint from Purdue is a great product, and your proposal is for MHI to actually maybe form a cooperation Have you actually read or heard about, if this is such a great idea, why hasn't someone else already approached Purdue to say, well, why don't we work on this?
Yeah, so currently the Purdue University, they are still in the process of commercializing their paint. They haven't reached the step of selling it yet, but they have definitely made advancements. And so while they have a patent on the paint and everything, I would assume that companies haven't reached out to them yet because it hasn't.
So it's not at that stage yet.
Yes.
Well, you're probably the first one who discover that, and if you're the first one to the party, then maybe you can.
And that's also why we want MHI to help commercialize their paint to make it profitable, and we can use it as well.
Also to add on, I just want to talk about the gas turbine aspect of this question, but there are many startups that developed smaller gas turbines, but the same with the white paint, but it's not really being sold mass produced basically. So we want to basically be the first, because MHI has the technology to do so with the J series gas turbine, and we believe we can do this with the combination of gas turbines and heat exchangers.
And the last comment I'll make is most of the successful business today are not the first, right? Like Facebook wasn't the first social network, Airbnb wasn't the first site, so it doesn't have to be a first, but you probably want to know why others haven't done as well before when you start your business.
Do you have any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now that three presentations are done, we're going to take a quick break for judges to step aside and decide, provide some feedback on each team, as well as which team has the best business idea today. Right. So judges, if you could go to the side room and chat for a little bit, and the students, you can just relax a little bit. You can stretch out a little bit, and when they come out, they will announce the winner for today's speech.
Did they?
商社もそうですし、いろんなところで大体こういう形でできてるじゃないですか。日本の中ってそういう会社が多いので、それを理解するね、すごくいい機会が出るから、自分の自分の例えば作るとか仕事するのをどういうふうにしようとするのかっていうのが面白い。そうですよね。そうですね、まあ、常にそれをやるつもりです。評価やして、それで新たなことをして、いろんなことをしたことをまとめて、発表するのをして、それこそ、そういう形でなんかこういう形で。No, I work at Aviation. I have one to do it. そうですね。資料を投影してるっていう。そうですね。はいはいはい。すごい。ホームタイプを入れるけども、例えばマーケティングして、在関係の方とか、作っていろんなチーム編成、チームがこうなったりとかして、そうですね。そうなんですよね。熱量はありますよね。プリンターで何本作るだけで違うじゃないですか。少し実装してみるっていうのも。いや、まあそうですよね。でもいい感じなので、中学3年なので、一人は。サステナビリティですね。 すごい意識が低いところがあるので、そしたらそこにいきなり HVAC って言っても、なかなか上がらないので、勝負しかもものすごい30年休み時間ですね、いきなりプロファイルなんてね、本当にそういう職人ですね、肌の人っていうのは、そういうのにいっぱい意識がやってきてて。サステナビリティも企業で失敗した例が大体その企業の中の一個のプロダクトをサステナブルにして作ってそれを出してDNA に入ってないから結局そこだけのマーケティングのチャンスで結局続かなくて終わってしまうっていうすごい辛いことなんですけど、その DNA のそのコアの部分にそれを入れてっていう出すともういやー、そうですね。僕らが分かりたいので、それ自体が結局はね、もあると思うし、もちろんいろんな業界によってはね、どうしても影響はね、環境に影響する部分があったりすると思う。そこをどうバランス取るかっていうのはね、本当に難しいなと思いますね。今回もありましたし、その前どこなんですか？あ、そうですね。作ってたんですか？でもそれを見る感じ。そうなんですね。そこを仕上げないとね、やっぱりステークホルダー大事ですよね。当時はすごい小さかったんですけど、小さい分って じゃあそこからこれちょっといいですか。はい。次のちょっと手伝いしてください。ありがとうございます。はいはい。
Okay, so thank you for your presentation. I'm very impressed from your speech, and I think this is a very difficult thing for you because our business is B2B business, and so you are not so familiar. But I was very happy because you studied very well about our business or market. So first I tell you the winner of this year, and after that I will explain why the team is winning. Okay, so the winner is Aviation or Team 3. Congratulations. The reason is that your presentation was from very wide perspective research and very the focus to the sustainability of the world. I think it's very good point. And the Team 1, the fuel cell bus, I think it's very good, the good viewpoint because you use the buses ASIJ, and the connection with your everyday life and our business, and you use the buses for our business. It's very good, but we need. It would be better if you research more about the background of the market of fuel cell. Maybe that it's not so widespread in Japan, and maybe there are some reasons. So we want to know the limitation and the solution of that problem. And the second thing, ceramic cool. I think the business plan is very well, and the presentation was very well. The one point is that it depends on only the technology of ceramic cool. So if the ceramic cool is not will fail, the project, all the project will fail. So we think it's we want to know more solutions that risk management point of view. Do you have any other comments, Okamoto-san and Paul-san?
Yes, thank you very much for a very good presentation. We are very much during such a short period of time. And I'm also impressed with the magnitude of your study during this only 2 weeks after the preliminary session. We do appreciate your preparation. Thank you very much for your participation.
I guess the last thing I would say, I didn't come from NHI, so I don't have a technical background. I come from a business background. In the future, I'd love to see more analysis on the business model itself. Like, there's revenue and other numbers that was thrown out. I'd love to know a little bit more about how you arrived at that, maybe other different scenarios. So, well, I mean, today is about NHI, but in the future, I'd love to work with students here to see if we can actually develop that skill as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Right, so this will, of course, conclude our each part of the presentation today. But again, it's really about ongoing learning, right? So as Mr. Lee said as well, even make sure that you have some takeaways from today's speeches and even this whole process of how you are actually trying to develop your business plan. And some research that you conducted and what was needed and what the challenges and the solutions and so on. So hopefully this is not the end, but it's the beginning of the next chapter of your entrepreneurial learning. So thank you so much again for participating. And after this, I would like, of course, make sure that you also use this time to connect with these professionals as well and network. And if you have any questions after this event, this is a great chance for you to ask questions and also make connections with it as well. So, and once again, for the American Japan Society members and interns, we would like to say thank you for providing this great opportunity for students. Yamada-san, would you like to come up here? Mr. Fuzuki, would you like to present the medals to the winners? Yeah. Okay, so the winning team, if you could come up, the American Japan Society is going to award you with the special medal.
Yamada-san, ちょっと来てくれる?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, a little like that. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll just say a few words in the end. I really like this ceremony because you've come into this facility and you feel like you're back in the United States. That's one. Second, I learned a lot from the presentations, and now I advise students. Those who didn't win the medal were very good as well. So please watch what the Mitsubishi heavy industry, MHI, will be doing in several years. If they do something similar to your idea, claim intellectual property rights. Okay? And the third is the reason I like this is I don't have to grill the students with questions, and I don't have to vote. I just give the medal. So I like it. And I'd like to really congratulate the winners as well as those who didn't win the medal as well. You did a great job. So yeah, please keep up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right, so once again, this will conclude our this year's business pitch. So I think we would like to take a picture as the whole group. Then after that, you have a few minutes to interact with the people from Mitsubishi Industries and the American Society. Right, so if anybody can come up here, then we'll just take a group picture there, right?
手どこにしますか？真ん中で
それお願いします。
じゃあ僕、
そうですね。はい、
真ん中でいいですか？
真ん中です。難しいですね。
あ、じゃあちょうど
マイクロフォンですね。
マイク、ここが。
Guys, go closer to this. Go in, go in.
Why don't you make 2 rows?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll show you the example. Do like that. Do like that.
That's perfect.
このカメラって動かせます？これ多分入ってる。
大丈夫です。はい、お願いします。はい。
すいません、これだけ動かす。
もっとしゃがんでさ、下に来て。
もうちょっといただいた方がそうですよ。じゃあ皆さんカメラ見えてますかね？見えていますね。はい、誰も被ってないですね。じゃあ撮ります。3、2、1。じゃあ次皆さんなんかポーズとかあればポーズなんかじゃあなんかポーズとかあれば大丈夫ですか？せっかくなので。
僕一人やってたら恥ずかしいから。
はい、じゃあ皆さん思いの思いのポーズで、はい、カメラ見えてますか？撮ります。3、2、1。はい、OK です。
読売新聞のこと見てくれる？
あ、行きました。はいはい、そうですね。よくいらっしゃってます。そうですね。藤崎先生。息子がですね、あ、いや、いいです。